Hey guys, welcome back to a new video. My name's Hannah. If you're new here, subscribe. I'm not gonna even hide it, just subscribe. Let's get those subs up. Today, we're talking about, as you all know, December 1st came and went, and it brought many surprises for a lot of people. If you don't know what I'm talking about Spotify Wrapped. This comes once a year, and honestly, a lot of us look forward to it. And then some of us are just scared. Scared of what's on there, scared of what we listened to and forgot about. Because everyone knows, you want to share that Spotify Wrapped to show everyone how cool you are and all the cool music you listen to and how much you listen to music. Get a little cred on the streets, if you know what I'm saying. Well, sometimes we get those Spotify Wraps back and we're shocked, completely blindsided by what's on our Spotify Wrap. Who our top artist is, what our top albums are, and what our top songs are. You never know what's going to be on that list. And it can be terrifying, but it's also exciting. And everyone knows, you can't share your Spotify Wrapped if you're ashamed of something on that list. Like, take me for instance. In 2019, Ariana Grande came out with a new album, and she was my top artist that year. And one of her songs was on the top of my list. Now, don't get me wrong, I like Ariana Grande, big fan, beautiful voice, but I wouldn't consider myself like a huge Ariana Grande fan, and I really didn't want to portray myself as a big Ariana girl. All the love though, love her, so talented. Anyways, I didn't post my Spotify Wrap that year. I did send it to some people, but it was kind of funny. Anyways, today I'm going to be breaking down my Spotify Wrap from 2021, showing you all the details, all the specs, and yeah. So watch this video if you want to see that. If you don't, click off. I mean, I'm just being honest here. But I do have some other videos. If you want to watch those, you might like one of those. So yeah, let's get into it. So they do this kind of like little story, like type Instagram style type story for you to watch back, and it like does like a grand reveal for all of your Spotify Wrap things of the year. So this year was kind of like a movie theme. I don't know. It says in action. So you spent 15,082 minutes listening. That's more than 66 of other listeners in the United States, which is surprising to me because everyone I look at on Instagram, their listening time, like it makes me feel like shy about my listening time because theirs are like 30,000 and I've seen upper to like 90,000. Kind of scary. Like, do you just have music coming out of your phone at all times? All times. Like, I did have a friend that used to just have like music going constantly on her phone, and it was like at a dim level, like a quiet level, and I don't know if it's because she lost her phone all the time. I don't know, I think she just liked to. In 2021, you did what you had to do. It says, while everyone else was trying to figure out NFTs were, you had one song on repeat, Deja Vu by Olivia Rodrigo. You played it very reasonably 11 times, as it is your right. When this song came out, it was like Olivia Rodrigo's peaking. Everyone like wanted more from her because Driver's License that came out, and then next it was Deja Vu, and it's just absolute banger after banger. Like, Deja Vu, I mean, everyone has had that feeling before. It's a great song, and it's a great one to just yell. A lot of her songs in her album were just yellers. Music video was awesome too, so. But that wasn't the only song on your rotation. Your top songs. This is pretty shocking to me. It is, but it shouldn't be, because I listened to the Olivia Rodrigo album Sour so much. Like, on repeat, it was like a go-to. It was kind of how I felt like 2018-19 about Golden Hour, Casey Musgraves. Like, it's just an album you can put on at any time and just good songs. So my number one, Deja Vu, Olivia Rodrigo. Number two, New Light by John Mayer. This song is my all-time favorite song. It has been for about 3 years now. It's been on my Spotify Wrap like every single year because this song I'll put on in the morning. I'll put it on if someone like wants me to request a song on aux. It's just a feel-good song. Anytime you're in the car, anytime you want to wake up in the morning, it's a great song to just start your day out on. Ever since this song came out, I've been listening to it, and he finally released the album this year. And this is still my favorite song of his. Number one, New Light fan, swear. Number three, Good For You. Do I have to explain? Like, it's a song that you can scream at the top of your lungs. It's so relatable, and it's so good. And the music video was fire, once again. Number four, Jealousy, Jealousy. Great song. And then 5, Enough For You. Looking at this, it looks like I went through a breakup. Like, I didn't. Like, I'm fine. I'm good. I just love these songs and they make me feel so happy. Like I just scream them. I'm proud of my top songs this year. They give me a playlist of all my top songs, which I save the top songs every year and I listen back to them because they're fire playlists. It's all the songs that I like. In a year like 2021, even your music gets a vibe check. And they did a new thing this year, was your audio aura, which I've seen people like get their auras read and like I get it, but it's nothing that's like, oh, this is so cool. You always understood the assignment. You listened to 68 different genres this year, but we would have been proud even if you exclusively listened to whale sounds. Good one, Spotify. My top genres. Number 1, dance pop. Number 2, pop rap. 3, electro pop. 4, Canadian pop. 5, indie pop. I was surprised that indie pop was so low this year. I don't feel like I listened to as much like indie alternative music as I usually do this year. I don't know, it wasn't like my biggest genre where it has been more in the past. I don't really know what Canadian pop is. Is that Drake? I need to Google it. How well do you know you? There was one podcast that lived in your head rent-free, and that's Anything Goes by Emma Chamberlain. You listened to 45 episodes for a total of 2,025 minutes. I'm not surprised. If you don't listen to Anything Goes by Emma Chamberlain, like you're missing out. It's so good. Like so many people explain watching her stuff like kind of just hanging out with your best friend or like listening to your best friend. But it's so good. It's so relatable. Like she can talk to a wall, honestly. She's never had a guest on her podcast. Like, she can talk the entire time. It's always relatable. I don't know. It's just good. Go listen to it. Anything goes. When it comes to podcast listening, you're actually a bit of a pro. Top podcasts. Okay. Anything Goes, obviously. Number 2, The Morning Toast. I've been listening to The Morning Toast since I was probably a sophomore in college, maybe freshman. So, like, 2017, I think. Back before it was The Morning Toast. But it's always a quality podcast. They're hilarious. They talk about pop culture. They talk about, just like anything. Like reality TV shows. They're big fans of like The Real Housewives, if you watch that. I don't. They make me want to watch it, honestly. They're sisters. It's a family affair. It's so good. If you want to go to podcasts, like listen to The Morning Toast. They upload every single day. It's worth it. Not weekends, but you know. Number 3, Call Her Daddy. I've been listening to Call Her Daddy since the first episode. So Alex Cooper, she's always speaking truth. It really was more, when it started, it was more of kind of like entertaining and like they just were crazy girls and having a crazy good time. But now it's kind of more like she interviews a lot of people and it's more of kind of like, you know, she talks about mental health. She talks about, but she's also funny and she has good stories and she's always entertaining. She gets awesome guests. Miley Cyrus. I don't know, and she also brings on a lot of people that I've never heard of before, but I'll listen to her interview anyone. She's such a good interviewer, honestly. My number 4 was Whitney Cummings' Good For You podcast. And I started listening to this probably last January. I don't listen to it as much anymore. Whitney Cummings, you know, she's a comedian, so she's just funny in general to listen to. She has lots of famous friends, so they come on her podcast and she interviews them. She talks about things going on in the world. Sometimes it kind of feels like a therapy session, but I don't really listen much anymore. I don't know why. Number 5 is KFC Radio. This is more of like, they're kind of just shooting the shit all the time, talking about things going on, talking about sports. They do Answer the Internet questions, am I the asshole questions. So it's kind of, I feel like I'm one of the bros when I listen to it, and I really don't listen as much as I used to. They used to be like my number 2 podcast. Number 1, I like to switch up what I listen to. They're a good one if you are kind of into that more shooting the shit kind of conversations. You listened to 724 different artists, but things got pretty serious with one. Can you guess who? Olivia Rodrigo. I was in the top 10% of listeners last year. I'm surprised about that. Top 10%? That's a lot. But I do love her and I think she's awesome and gorgeous and talented, show-stopping, you know. You spent 225 minutes with them and you just couldn't get enough of Deja Vu. We knew that already. In fact, you found a whole lot to love this year. My top artists. Number 1, Olivia Rodrigo. We've been over that. This was her year. Number 2, Drake. I was surprised he's so high on my list, but sometimes he's kind of like a go-to. I don't know. I just want to put something on I'm familiar with. It's Drake. I didn't love his new album. I'm kind of like learning about more songs now. Like they kind of were sleepers. I do love like Way Too Sexy. That song That's like a song right now that just gets me hyped up. It's just like my song of the moment, you know? Fair Trade, I love that one too, but Drake is just brings back so much memories from years past, and you just, you know, you just can't get enough of Drake sometimes. Number 3, Billie Eilish. I was surprised she was on this list too. I went through a Billie Eilish phase after her Apple series came out, or her little documentary on Apple. It was good, and I just like have a lot of respect for her. I think she's an awesome person. She seems like she'd be like a great friend, and she has a beautiful voice. Honestly, so beautiful. It reminds me of old Hollywood music. And number 4, Kanye West. He's also kind of like Drake in a way that anytime I'm just in the mood, I can put him on. His new album, I liked it. You know, I know there was a whole beef between him and Drake, like the album of the moment or album of the year, whose would beat who. I just love Kanye. I had to drive 2 hours, and I literally just put on Kanye the entire drive there, and it's something that just makes you feel good. And number 5, Taylor Swift. I think this is kind of obvious. She's had so many albums come out in 2021, you know, some new and some re-recorded. I think really mostly I listened to her newer albums, Evermore and Folklore. Wait, Folklore? Is that what it was? I listened to those 2 new albums this year more than any other Taylor Swift. I'm not surprised she's on here, honestly, because I really do listen to her a lot. Thanks for making us a regular part of your irregular year. That is my Spotify wrapped up in a little bow for you. Just a little overview of it and my thoughts. I honestly am proud of it this year. I would be prouder if I had more listening hours. I feel like I listen to like Spotify a lot, which I don't know if that includes the 15,000 includes like time listening to podcasts. Does it? One year, the highest I've ever gotten, it was like 35,000. And that was the time that I was living with other people, and so my Google Home was connected to my Spotify, and we were just constantly playing music. So it's a lot of work to get high listening minutes on Spotify. You know what? Good for you if you have a high listening. You're cooler than me. Thanks for watching this video. Comment who your top artist was this year, or your top song this year. I'm really curious. Wait, one more thing. Why did they come out with the year wrapped in December? Like, why doesn't it come out in January? That would make more sense in my head. Like, January 1st, New Year's Day, you get your Spotify Wrapped. Like, when is the cutoff line for Spotify Wrapped? I'm on to you, Spotify. Thanks for watching. Bye.